ESPN believes that the Baltimore Ravens have a top 10 defense. They gave us a lot of reasons to be excited about this unit in 2025. And if you stay tuned, I'm going to give you a lot of reasons as well. Before that, though, we got to check in on this July sub-battle between the top dogs in the AFC. Unfortunately, of the top dogs, Ravens rundown right now, we are the bottom dog, per se. 230 subs, but very, very close to first place, just behind Bill's breakdown at 231. I need you guys to help me out. Do me a solid. Hit that big red sub button. It's free. It locks us in for daily Ravens videos and helps us prove to everybody that, hey, we deserve to be at the top of the AFC. Is this Ravens defense about to go nuclear? Because ESPN's Mina Kimes on her YouTube show, which I don't recommend you watch because I'd rather you watch my YouTube show. She said that the Ravens will have a top 10 defense in 2025. She gave her list of who the top 10 will be. The Baltimore Ravens, I think she had at number 3. Needless to say, she has really, really high praises. Here's what the analyst had to say. Baltimore basically saved their season halfway through. It wasn't just stopping the bleeding. They turned from being an absolute liability in pass defense to, in the second half of last season, being first in EPA per play, first in success rate, first in opponents' points per game. They became, next to Philadelphia, the second best defense in football. And Mina, you are preaching to the choir. You are speaking the truth. And it's something that I really like to hear. Because I think a lot of people see the end of the year stats, right? They see the whole 18-week number, and they say, my goodness, this Ravens defense was horrific. And they wouldn't be wrong in saying that, but you got to split it up, okay? Because the last 8 weeks, the last 7 games of the season, they were not just a top half of the league defense, they were like top 2 or 3. First in points per game, first in team yards per game, second in pass yards per game, first in defensive EPA, right? But do you break when they get in the red zone? And Baltimore proved in the second half of the year they didn't. 15.42 points per game allowed in the last 7 weeks of the season, 8 weeks of the season compared to 25.3. They got better by 10 points a game. Coming up on the show, I got 2 reasons why this change took place, okay? 2 reasons why I believe this defense flipped 100% on its head and turned into one of the best units in the National Football League. Before that, though, I want you to be Mina Kimes in the comment section down below. She had them at 3. I have them in the top 4. I'd probably have them at 3 or 4 as well. Where would you rank the Ravens D? You go ahead, let me know in the comment section down below. Reason number 1, I think that Zach Orr's maturity finally came to light. And I'm not talking about like emotional or personal maturity. I just think maturity as a coordinator, okay? I feel like that coordinators should get the same growing pains, slack, that rookies do. And I get it. They're not changing most of the times. Like, he came from being a Baltimore Ravens inside linebacker coach to the defensive coordinator. He stayed in the same league, right? He's not making the jump from college to the NFL like these rookie players are. But at the same time, it's a whole new job. It is 100% different. And we're talking about a guy who didn't have that much coaching experience going into it. He had only been a coach for 6 years prior to that. And 3 of those he spent not even really as a coach, but just as an analyst. Got his first positional job in 2021, and then 3 years later, he was named the defensive coordinator, not just for any team, but for a team that has been known for their defense over the last 3 decades since they've been a team. He took control of this group. You saw him in that game against the Houston Texans on Christmas Day literally jump on top of and flip over Darius Washington because he was so excited. These are his guys. They look to him as their leader. And I think that took a couple weeks to get in the swing of things, right? And then additionally, Baltimore made an awesome move this offseason. They added in Chuck Pagano to help him. They added in a guy who's been in Baltimore before, had success in Baltimore before, has coached some really, really good players in Baltimore before, and just knows what it's like to be a coach at the head coach level and the defensive coordinator level in the National Football League. Adding a guy who specializes in the secondary, which is, I think, where Zach Orr struggled the most in the beginning of last season, was with how he handled the secondary, who he put in there in the secondary. And so I think Chuck Pagano is going to be a massive, massive help. That is reason number one, Zach Orr's maturity. Reason number two, I think it was Ardarius Washington, okay? I think once he started being a every down player for Baltimore, then this whole thing turned around. I mean, look at the correlation. Weeks 1 through 10, 27 snaps per game. Weeks 11 through 18, when everything changed, those more than doubled, up to 58.1 snaps per game. We can go ahead and round that down. Just give it a cool 58 per game. His grades on PFF, they also showed how dominant he was, how good he was. He had an 80 overall grade. His run defense wasn't great, which is funny because I feel like run defense is the thing he does best. But his coverage grade, 84.2. Like, not only did this team see a 100% shift when he got in the lineup, but he also was doing something great for Kyle Hamilton. And I think this is maybe the biggest impact that he had. Of course, he played well. He played really, really well. It's going to be a big miss this year because of that Achilles injury. But I think more than anything, he allowed this guy to roam, to be a chess piece, to be a Swiss Army knife, to go wherever he needed to go. For Zach Orr to be able to put him wherever he wanted to, wherever he needed to. Before that, when it was Marcus Williams, when it was Eddie Jackson in there, Zach Orr didn't have the trust in those guys. He had that with Ardarius Washington, and it allowed him to unlock Kyle Hamilton just a little bit. Coming up, Mina Kimes has more to say about the secondary specifically. I know we talked a lot about the secondary already on this video. Stay locked in. She talks a little bit more about the unit. Before that, make sure you guys head down to chatsports.com/purple t-shirt to get this Ravens shirt for your closet. $15 off. You got to act fast because this deal will not last forever. Chatsports.com/purple t-shirt is where you need to go. I know it's really hot in Baltimore right now. Probably not as hot as it is down here in Dallas, Texas, but still, everybody likes a nice little t-shirt on a warm summer day, and you could wear that, look the best, feel the best, also support the best for your Baltimore Ravens. Chatsports.com/purple t-shirt is where, or purple shirt is where you need to go. And if you don't get that link stuck in your head, go in the comments, go in the description. That exact link is in there as well. Chatsports.com/purple t-shirt. Alrighty, Mina Kimes spoke about the defense as a whole before. That's what we talked about. But she also talked a little bit specifically about this secondary and how excited she is for this next season. I think that top to bottom, Alexander, Wiggins, Humphrey, Hamilton, and Starks is just such a fun and versatile and interesting group. And I've said this before, I feel like this is the best secondary in football. Like, I get it. Producer Moose just audibly let out like almost like a gasp. But like when you have the player that is Kyle Hamilton, who I think if he's not the best secondary player in football, he's second best, maybe behind Patrick Surtain. He can do absolutely anything. He can go absolutely anywhere. And then you have three really solid corners, and you added in maybe the most exciting player in the draft. And what I love is how much it has improved from the secondary of week one last year to the projection for what week one is going to be this year. Last year's Brandon Stevens, Jalen Armour-Davis, you can look back at that KC game, week one, snap one, he's on the field at CB2. Marlon Humphrey in the slot, and then you had Kyle Hamilton and Marcus Williams at safety. Now you have Nate Wiggins in year two, Jair Alexander, Marlon Humphrey again, still in that slot, and then Malaki Starks and Kyle Hamilton. Like, that is, I don't know if there's a team that has a better top to bottom unit than what Baltimore has right there. There's just not a lot of holes in that secondary. And I can't wait to see how both Hamilton and Starks are used. Because what Mina said is she's so excited about the versatility of this group. And I think that's a perfect word for it. We already know you could put Kyle Hamilton wherever you want to put Kyle Hamilton. But now I feel like with Malaki Starks in there as well, you can kind of do the same thing with him. He played a ton of nickel in college, played a ton of free safety, a ton of strong safety. He can go anywhere. We're going to round out with 5 quick, bold predictions for the Ravens defense in 2025. My first one, Kyle Hamilton, Defensive Player of the Year. The awards keep rolling in, though, because I've got Malaki Starks, Defensive Rookie of the Year. Number 3, let's keep it with the rookies. Let's talk about Mike Green. I think he leads this team in sacks. Now, a little bit of a reminder. These are bold predictions, okay? They're not predictions I'd put $100 on if I got the chance, but they're predictions that I want to make right now, and if they happen, I want to look back on this video and see, I told you so. Odafe Oweh, I think he sets a new career high in sacks. He set it last year with 10. I think that number goes up. And last but not least, if he stays healthy, I think Jair Alexander could get back in the turnover game. 6 turnovers, 6 interceptions for the new Ravens cornerback for Lamar Jackson's college teammate at Louisville. There's my 5 bold predictions. I get it. Those are lofty, but hey, hopefully one of them hits. If one of them hit, I'd be pretty happy. Be bold with me. Get down in the comment section. Give me your bold prediction for the Ravens defense in 2025. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know your feelings. And while you're down there in the comment section, you'll see the links to my Twitter, links to my Instagram. Make sure to click those. Give me a follow. It's 100% free to do. If we're talking about free things, another great free thing that you can do is hit that subscribe button and join us right here on the Ravens Rundown for daily coverage. We'll see you next time. God bless.